This week's Parsha is Parshas Netzavim. In Parshas Netzavim, Moshe concludes his final speech. And Moshe says to the Jewish people that they shouldn't underestimate the power, the urge to serve idols. Therefore, he says to them that don't deny and don't think that you don't have it within you. You guys have experience with this, and you've done it before, and it could definitely happen again, as it does. Historically, we know in the times of Yehoshua, Moshe's successor, the Jewish people do stumble and they serve idols. There's an interesting verse when Moshe talks about this. He says, "Ki atem yidatem es asher yoshavnu be'eretz Mitzrayim, es asher avarnu bekerev hagoyim asher avartem." He says, because you know that we were living in Egypt and other nations who served idols. Meaning that because of that experience, the experience that you had in Egypt and with other Gentile nations, you are more susceptible. The Tzror Hamar asks a very simple, straightforward question. He asks, why is there a reference to Egypt? This is the Jewish people who are about to enter the land of Israel, and all of the people who were participants in the golden calf sin perished. And for some reason, Moshe is making a reference to the experience that they had in Egypt. These people didn't have any experience in Egypt. They are the new nation, the children of the previous generation. So now many of the commentators answer that it's a reference specifically for the people who were under 20, because anybody who is under the age of 20, which is the age where a person is liable for a penalty in law, in Jewish law, they did not perish in the desert, and they could have experienced Egypt before the age of 20, and now we're entering the Holy Land, meaning they would be around somewhere below the age of 60 at this time. But it seems a little bit of a stretch to say that this specific phrase, this reference to Egypt, was only applicable to certain parts of Klal Yisrael, of the Jewish people. Tzror Hamar has an alternative answer. He says that we don't understand the power, the influence previous experiences can have on us, even if we ourselves did not experience it. There is a wave effect from a person's experience, the way a person leads his life. And it's not something that will necessarily stop at that individual's death. If he has children, they may experience similar challenges because of the experience that the parent had. And that's what Moshe's references to. He says that you know the experience we had in Egypt. Your parents experienced it. You saw the effect on your parents, and there is a sub-effect on you. And that is lying beneath you, and you have to understand and appreciate the danger and understand that you are susceptible more than others. You can serve idols. You have it within you, and you have to overcome that urge. This is a lesson that my Rosh Yeshiva taught me, my dean of the rabbinical college I attended. He said that many people think that they experience misfortune in their lives because of actions of their parents or because of actions of other relatives or friends. And they think that because they saw the outcome, the negative outcome, they'll never do that. But that's not the way it works. If we live in an atmosphere where something is acceptable, even if we see how detrimental it was to others, we are more susceptible because of that. And it's something that we have to know and appreciate in order to avoid. Quick question on this week's Parsha. The beginning of the Parsha, Moshe says, "Behold, I have before you the good and the bad, life and death. You have a choice to make. Pursue God's way and have life, have joy, or do not pursue God's way, and death and evil will only result." The commentators talk about why is the process, why is the order of the verse that it says, behold, I have given before you life and goodness, and I have given before you evil and death. Why put that order? What's the reason why the Torah puts it specifically in that order? Have a good Shabbos.